What a coup for the Kansas State Wildcats, landing Dylan Edwards in the transfer portal out of Colorado. I'm Pete Mundo. We are Heartland College Sports. We cover the Big 12. Thanks for being here and joining us. And I want to make sure that you are subscribed to the show, subscribe to the channel, YouTube, podcasts. We so appreciate you being here and doing that for us. So that way you never miss a show, because we are all off-season football talk right now. And there's a lot going on, including Dylan Edwards. Sunday came down. He is going back to Kansas State, where he was originally committed. Then it was Notre Dame. Then it was following Deion to Colorado. And now, after 1 year, he is deciding to come home to Manhattan, Kansas. And what a job by Chris Kleiman and his staff. First off, welcoming this guy back, not being petty about it, and just saying, you know what? He makes us better. He's a legacy. He's a Kansas kid. Of course, goes back a long ways with Avery Johnson. And this sets up some real magic for Kansas State. Not just this year, but you're talking about multiple years now where these guys can play together, where Kansas State can find itself competing at the top of the Big 12 conference. So let's talk about this backfield now. This is an all-Kansas backfield for Kansas State. You've got Avery Johnson, of course. You've got now Dylan Edwards. And don't forget DJ Giddens, who should not be overlooked. I mean, people are going to overlook him maybe outside of Manhattan and maybe outside of the Big 12. But DJ Giddens ranked 4th in the Big 12 in yards from scrimmage last season, 1,200-plus yards. Rushing, 300-plus receiving yards, 13 total touchdowns, and was honorable mention all Big 12. There's probably not a lot of casual college football fans that know the name DJ Giddens, outside of the Big 12 especially, but they should, because this guy comes back as one of the best running backs in the Big 12, and that is a stacked league right now when you look at the running back position. And DJ Giddens is one of the best. And he is now going to be partnered side by side with Dylan Edwards. And this works out for everybody. Obviously, it makes Kansas State better, but it also works out for Giddens and for Edwards. If you're a running back, you want to be featured. You want NFL scouts to see what you're capable of, but you don't want your body to break down in college, because we know one of the reasons that running back has been devalued in the NFL, there's a lot of reasons. The rules are changing, favoring the passing game. But another reason is these bodies are so beat up by the time they get to college, or by the time they get to the NFL. Guys are bigger, guys are stronger, guys are faster, the hits are harder. So the hits you're taking in college are, I don't want to say equivalent to the NFL, but it's not the drop-off that it would have been a generation ago in many cases. So you're better off, if you're DJ Giddens, showcasing your stuff. The NFL is going to have the tape on you. And then you get some blows having a guy like Dylan Edwards in that backfield with you. And by the way, it helps your team win games. This is a win for everybody. Nobody loses here out of this deal. I mean, Colorado does. What a stupid job and bad job by Deion in Colorado letting this guy walk. He was a true freshman last year, and he did nothing but produce for you. And don't forget, he produced for a Colorado team that had one of the worst offensive lines in America at the Power 5 level. They were terrible. And now you got a situation where, you feel pretty good about things. Having a guy like Dylan Edwards joining you in that backfield with Avery Johnson and DJ Giddens. I mean, this is shaping up to be kind of one of these magic carpet rides where you've got 3 Kansas guys in that backfield. And if they can do something like win a Big 12 title, get to a college football playoff, win a game, or dare I say 2 in a college football playoff, this can do an enormous amount of good for high school football in the state of Kansas. High school football in Kansas is not Texas, obviously. It's not Oklahoma. But there are some hidden gems in and around this state that people don't realize. The most recent prominent name that comes to mind is Breece Hall, Iowa State running back, now with the New York Jets. And we can debate, and throw out other names as well, but Breece Hall comes to mind. There is talent in this state if you mine it and you find the right guys. And now Kansas State may very well win a Big 12 title with 3 Kansas guys in that backfield, and Dylan Edwards, Avery Johnson, and DJ Giddens. And it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun to watch. So this was a great move. Now, what we're talking about with NIL, I don't know. Credit to our guy, Tim Fitzgerald, over at Go Power Cat. They had this first, and I have not seen anything about what the NIL money is when it comes to what got Dylan Edwards to come back to Kansas State. But I got to imagine that part of this for Dylan Edwards, who, once again, this is home for him. This is where he was originally committed. This is where, his father had a legacy. I'm guessing it was more than just money. I don't want to make any assumptions, but a part of me has to believe that Dylan Edwards made this move, and it wasn't about the biggest bidder and the highest paycheck. It was about a guy who also said, where am I going to be happy? Where can I win? Where can I make a difference? Where can I, leave a legacy? And leaving a legacy has gotten lost in this crazy NIL world. I know that it's all about the bag. I get it. I'm not naive to it. But there was something to be said for a guy who spent 4 to 5 years in a program and got to know the boosters, got to shake their hands, got to hang out before the games, after the games, various functions for the team and the program and the university. And there's value in that, especially if you're somebody who doesn't know what your post-playing career is going to look like. There's value in having a home, in being in a place where people know you and you know them. Beyond just, I was there for a year and I collected a $50, $100, a $250,000 check. But if you're not the guy who's going to be collecting $250,000 plus, you're in many cases better off, barring some, special circumstances, staying where you are, building a rapport, building relationships with your coaching staff and your boosters, and having people that will basically pay you back. And I don't mean literally pay you back with money. I mean pay you back from the standpoint of just help you out. Because there has to be life after playing football. It might be coaching football, but there has to be life after playing football. And the relationships and the connections that you can make at a university, beyond just playing there for one season here and one season there, I think that's getting lost in this whole conversation about NIL and, the craziness that we're living in right now. The pendulum will swing back the other way. It always does. But this is one of those examples where Dylan Edwards made the best move. Not just for a guy looking to play, looking to make an impact, looking to be part of a good team, but he made the best move for himself. Because if Dylan Edwards has the career that we think he can have at Kansas State, if he does the things at Kansas State that we think he can do, and if he lifts that team to levels of success that we think it can have with him on board, he will set himself up for life. He will. That may be playing in the NFL. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But he will set himself up for his post-playing days and for life. And another 50 grand here or another 50 grand there from Nebraska or Oklahoma or some of the other teams that were eyeballing him, Tennessee, whoever it might have been. This is worth more. And I don't know if that was part of his calculation. It should have been. And if it was, that is wise beyond his years. And it is a very, very smart move. I see no downside to any of this. I think this is going to work out great for the Kansas State Wildcats and for Dylan Edwards. Chris Kleiman's going to know how to use him. That offensive staff is going to be innovative with him, but they're also going to protect him. So welcome home, Dylan Edwards. Nice job, my man. We're happy to have you here in the Big 12. I guess you were technically in the Big 12 because Colorado's moving to the Big 12, but this is going to be great for the future Big 12. It is huge for Kansas State, and it is some big-time news if you're in Manhattan on a Sunday. I'm Pete Mundo, Heartland College Sports. Thanks for joining us on the show. Subscribe so you never miss a video, never miss a show on the podcast, and we will have much more coming your way. Also, make sure you hop on those Heartland College Sports message boards. We need some more K-Staters on there. We do. It's free. Go to heartlandcollegesports.com. Sign up now. We'll talk to you soon, and go Big 12.